Hey everybody, it's Vitality over here at OG Gamers Live, home of Firestorm Records and Red Barn Productions, and we are back today. And yet again, we're going to make a video that I normally don't do. So I'm going to start off by saying that this video is not going to be monetized. So if you like the content and you would like to support the channel, please click that subscribe, click that like, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss new content when it goes up. And if you'd really like to help support this channel, bring you content like this, consider sending a super thanks or using the PayPal link in the video description below if you would like to donate directly and bypass that YouTube tax, because YouTube takes 50% of a super thanks. So what's got me riled up today? It was a story that got posted, let me refresh it, about an hour ago over on MSN. It's from Slate, and the story was written by Chris Malanphy. And once again, mainstream media is attacking Oliver Anthony music. And it's stories like this that really get me irritated, because it's not news. This is 100% somebody's biased opinion being passed off as news, and it's not. Let's start with the title. It's a singer topped the charts by bashing welfare. Then he denounced Republicans. What is going on here? Not great, but not too bad. You're like, well, maybe they started off thinking he was bashing welfare, and maybe they listened to the song and they realized the truth. Not the case, folks. It goes downhill from here. Let's bring us up to where you can see it. And they go on to say, at a time of national polarization, a singer-songwriter who has never recorded professionally before scores an improbable chart topper that finds favor with America Firsters. There's several things wrong with that first sentence. First off, they're talking about the fact that he's never recorded professionally. What's that got to do with the price of tea in China, folks? Not a damn thing. And you fixed to find out why this video is not monetized. You already get the idea that this person leans so hard left, somebody's probably having to keep them from falling over and busting their head. But I tried to keep an open mind, but the more I read, the worse it got. The artist, a high school dropout, trying to make something of himself, claims to be apolitical, but his lyrics about untimely death, citizens wailing in pain, and men who mean what they say are catnip for conservatives who feel besieged. Why are you making it a point to point out that he is a high school dropout? What's that got to do with it? Nothing. That's just your way of taking a dig at Oliver Anthony music to make yourself feel better. That's exactly what that is. And folks, I'm going to go over every bit of this. It talks about it's catnip for conservatives. Guess what? It's not just conservatives who have covered this song over here on YouTube and had something good to say about it. There's been a lot of people that identify as liberals or leaning left that have agreed with me and a lot of other people about this particular song. Recorded humbly by the songwriter with the help of an arranger from the fringes of the culture industry. That's an indirect attack on RadioWV. Draven is the one that helped record that song, and it's actually an attack on Draven, undeservedly so. And it gets worse. It gets worse. The song nonetheless shoots to number one on Billboard's Hot 100 in near record time. Sonically, the recording doesn't sound like anything currently on the radio, even country radio. Although the song is a smash on Billboard's country chart too, it's safe to assume the hundreds of thousands buying the single are doing so to make a point, support the rock ribbed person behind the song, and cast an implied vote in America's culture wars. Really? So nobody bought that song because they honestly liked the song and enjoyed it. I did. The they say sonically. They're talking of they're implying that it's trash. You know, for those that don't know, that's what they're doing. They're attacking everything about this. Uh, it's just, oh my God, it's bad. Then they come over and they say the year is 1966 and the song is the Ballad of the Green Berets by Staff Sergeant Barry Sadler of the U.S. Army Special Forces, who turned to songwriting after nearly losing a leg in Vietnam. Green Beret spent 5 weeks at number one and winds up Billboard's top song of 1966. Sound familiar? Sure, there are many differences between Green Berets and Oliver Anthony Music's Rich Men North of Richmond, the song that's freaked out chart watchers and progressives over the past fortnight, as it came out of quite literally nowhere to top the Hot 100. For starters, Sadler's anthem is a proud paean to America, while Anthony's is a declinist folky rant. Again, there's so much wrong with that part of the article. It's 100% biased dribble. Just off for so many reasons. I'm going to go back and mention, by the way, that Oliver Anthony was not bashing welfare. He was criticizing those that abuse the system. There is a huge difference, and we'll get back to that at the end of this conversation. And Rich Men has so far spent only 2 weeks at number one. There's little chance Oliver Anthony will wind up with 2023's top hit, thanks to earlier bigger hits by Morgan Wallen, Taylor Swift, and Miley Cyrus. Well, personally, I don't know who Morgan Wallen is, and I have to admit that I am not a fan of Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus. I'm just not. I'm not going to bash on them, but I'm not a fan. But as a chart historian, I couldn't help but think of Sadler's massive fluke hit when Anthony defied the odds and topped the hit parade with his politically incoherent song, punching up at the wealthy and punching down at the poor, especially underprivileged lovers of Little Debbie snack cakes. Wow, really? As a chart historian. And then you go on to talk about his politically incoherent song. It was nothing incoherent about it. Not if you had two brain cells. You obviously don't, but that's okay. There's life support for people like you. If the system will show you some love, you'll be okay. They can get you on an oxygen machine, a ventilator, whatever you need to stay alive there. Frankly, this analogy between Sadler and Anthony kept me from fretting over much about what Richmond north of Richmond means for our nation, pop music, or the charts in many ways. Oliver Anthony is unprecedented, but in the ways that matter, we've been there before. I don't think I even want to try to read the rest of this dribble. There's just so much wrong with it. Uh, I'm going to make a call to action right here. Y'all run over here. Normally, I wouldn't do this. Run over here, click that dislike button, click the three little dots at the bottom, report an issue, and come down here and voice your opinion, and then send it. I've already done so. I'm also going to point out to Chris Malanphy, it's not just a fluke, and he's not just a one-hit wonder, because you do mention that in this article. To be 100% honest and unbiased, he might end up being a flash in the pan. Time will tell. However, he is not a one-hit wonder. He debuted over on iTunes and captured 8 out of the top 10 spots on their top 100. He held first, second, third, fifth, and eighth place in the top 10, and he holds a total of 18 places on the Hot 100 charts. That makes him more than a one-hit wonder. Any way you want to look at it. Is it a fluke at this point? I don't think so. Will Oliver Anthony have any staying power? I don't know. I sure hope so. Hence the reference to him maybe being a flash in the pan. I'm not. I want everybody to know that I actually like Oliver Anthony and that I actually enjoy his music. Everything about this article is just so wrong. I took offense to it. Normally, I don't voice that I'm offended, but I'm going to take a page from the left because I am offended by the way they attacked Oliver Anthony, the quality of his music, the quality of the recording. They attacked Draven over at RadioWV. Many of you won't see it that way, but that's exactly what they did. Being pissy and hateful. And I bring this up because they're implying that because it wasn't produced at a multi-million-dollar studio by a record label and all this and all that, that it doesn't deserve to be on the charts, and that the only reason it's on the charts is because we're doing it to support the artist politically. Well, that's not the truth of the matter. That may be some of the truth. That's not the entire truth. That song deserves to be where it is on the charts, and in fact needs to be in the number one spot for the rest of the year. So how about everybody pitch in and together and make that happen? I want to come back in January and do a follow-up to this story and point out to this Chris Mulfanti what an idiot they are. And I know that this is a rant. I'm not trying to pass this off as news. I am voicing 100% voicing my opinion and clarifying its opinion, so much so that I am not monetizing this video because if it goes against YouTube's terms of service, I'm pretty sure that if I try to monetize it, that I'll get my hand spanked. Okay, so do support the channel. I think I need to start speaking up more and voicing my opinion more, and so do the rest of us, everybody. It's okay to disagree. You may not like his music, but let's not be petty and attack the man because we disagree. I personally enjoyed the music. I took the time to go back and listen a couple of times and go watch some of his other video to make sure that I had the proper context on what he was singing about. Some people seem to think he's singing when he talks about miners on an island somewhere instead of miners in our own country. They seem to think he's talking about coal miners. He clearly states in other videos that he's not singing about coal miners. He is in fact singing about minor children being abused. 100% fact, folks. Go look for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you would like to hear more of my opinion, let me know. If not, then I won't put it out there. I try to stay away from politics and all that on my channel because I have been censored and shut down and demonetized before over things far less sensitive. But I'm going to take this time to point out to the powers that be over on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and wherever, I don't need y'all to hold my hand and protect me. If somebody gives me a hard time, I have no problem clapping back and defending myself. If I see somebody giving somebody else a hard time and treating them badly, I have no time speaking up and putting a stop to it. I don't know what else to say on that. So I'm going to end it there. Once again, if you'd like to support the channel, click that subscribe, click that like, turn the notifications on. Consider sending a super thanks. And if you would rather avoid the YouTube tax, there's a PayPal link in the video description below. You can always donate that way to help support the channel directly, because I do depend on my earnings and my income from my content to even exist right now. So y'all stay safe wherever you are in the world today. Speak up, be heard. Till next time, this is Vitali over here, and I'm out.